Max Verstappen says smiling Esteban Ocon goaded him into clash. Speaking on the pep talk show on Dutch TV channel Ziggo Sport on Monday evening, the Red Bull driver said he had not intended to shove Ocon when he confronted him. "It is always easy to talk afterwards," said Verstappen when asked if he regretted the post-race fracas. "I just wanted to look for him and ask what was going on. How could something like this happen?" But he immediately answered, "I was faster than you," and said it with such a smile on his face. "I tried to be as positive as possible towards my mechanics, but of course the second place doesn't feel right. And then you meet someone like him who doesn't even apologize for what happened and reacts exactly the other way around." Asked if he thought Ocon might have taken revenge for their European Formula 3 clashes in 2014, Verstappen replied, "No, and he's actually no competitor at all in Formula 1. I just focus on the people I have to focus on, and try to beat drivers who have good material as well." Honda announces new partnership to help F1 turbo development. Ahead of its tie-up with Red Bull for 2019, Honda has announced an enhanced deal with iHit, which it has worked with since returning to F1 in 2015. Katsuhide Moriyama, chief officer in brand and communications at Honda, said, "We expect this partnership to produce a notable step up in performance. Together, we will keep pushing to fight for wins." iHit is one of the class leaders in rotating machinery technology, which it has developed through its shipbuilding and steam turbine business. The deal will last for 2 years and the first components from the new cooperation will arrive as part of Honda's 2019 engine. iHit's Yoshinori Kawasaki said, "Through this new technical partnership, our aim is for the Honda PU to deliver the best possible performance, by accelerating development of the turbocharger." "We hope that as from the 2019 season, Honda's power unit, using the iHit turbocharger, will deliver the sort of performance that thrilled motorsport fans back in the 80s and 90s. Honda's 1980s and 90s partnerships with Williams, Lotus and most famously McLaren resulted in 69 Grand Prix wins, with every driver's title from 1987-91 and every constructor's crown from 1986-91 claimed using Honda power. But Honda has yet to achieve a podium finish in its current F1 project, which started with 3 fractious years with McLaren in 2015-17 before the 18 Toro Rosso move that paved the way for its future Red Bull A alliance. Max Verstappen showed he can't manage his emotions, F1's Ross Brawn. Verstappen was ordered to carry out 2 days of public service with the FIA's punishment for the incident, where he shoved Ocon as they disputed their collision that cost the Red Bull driver the victory at Interlagos. In his regular post-race media debrief, Brawn said Verstappen's behavior could not be justified. Max vented his anger and parked firm, making physical contact with Ocon, said Brawn. It was not an edifying sight, and though understandable, it was of course not justifiable. The incident with Ocon was a cruel moment, but in the aftermath Max showed he has made enormous progress in his career, but he is still not able to manage his emotions in these situations, an essential next step. Having said that, one mustn't forget he is still very young, and while his conduct wasn't justifiable, we can all understand the frustration he felt after the incident and again at the end of the race, the outcome of which should not cancel out what was an amazing performance from the Dutchman. After all, it's not every day you drive past 2 Ferraris and 2 Mercedes. Over the past 10 years, no one has won the Brazilian Grand Prix from further back than the second row, but Max came very close on Sunday. I'm sure Max will learn from what happened and that everything that happened, including the penalty he was given, will contribute to his development as a driver and mainly as a man. Brawn also offered a view on Ocon's part in the on-track incident, when the Force India driver robustly tried to unlap himself by battling Verstappen. While the Frenchman was entirely justified in trying to unlap himself, given that he was clearly quicker at that moment, it has to be said there was no reason to take on Verstappen as though he was fighting for his first win in Formula One, he said. He deserved the 10-second stop-and-go penalty he was given in the race. I don't think that Ocon was simply thinking of trying to get in the points. I believe it was more the case that he was caught up in the moment and didn't think it through. Maybe fighting to the death with the race leader might not have been the best plan, even when that driver is one with whom you had some spirited fights in the lower formulae. Brawn urged both drivers to learn from what happened on Sunday, also reminding them of the responsibility they have while competing on a global stage. Drivers must not forget they are role models for the fans and for youngsters who want to follow in their footsteps, he added. Overall, Sunday was a lesson for both Verstappen and Ocon, one they won't forget in a hurry. It's just another part of their learning curve.